Hey guys, Matt here. Well, this is the video you've all been either anticipating or dreading for years now. Yes, this is the Chris Benoit video. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to rant as much as some other people on this subject, but I do have feelings about this subject that I never uploaded the first attempt at this bit, so I'm gonna go with make this as quickly as possible and hopefully get it done. Okay, the murder-suicide. Okay, and I think where I'm gonna start is the tribute show. Now, I do not blame WWE for this. They had no clue what was going on. They didn't know what he had done. It was a lapse of confidence. That's all it was. And the people who say he was in control, screw you. Look at the autopsy. He had so many chair shots to the head, so many bumps to his head, and a broken neck also. That couldn't help matters. And he went psycho. He flipped out. He totally did. Everyone's been there, I'm sure. So, and yes, I will admit it was wrong what he did. I'm not going to deny it. I'm with you on that boat. However, the boat I'm not aboard is the boat burying him. Okay? Benoit is my favorite wrestler of all time, honestly, I think. At least the stuff he did, he's been in the business a long time and all that. I could talk about his career, but I'm going to use this example. This all goes back, in my view, and I think Undertaker Freak said it in his video in 2011 about this same subject. He brought this up. While I do agree with a lot of the points he made, there are some disagreements here, but I'm not going to trash Undertaker Freak, which, by the way, I'm a big fan. Please sub to him. Don't he need any more subs, I'm just saying. Great guy. But, okay. He brought up MVP, and this is something I'm going to go with as well. I'm going to go into this MVP thing, because this is what he reminded us of in the video. This is technically a video response. I don't know if I'm going to video response this to him. I'm not sure. I've never done that. So, yeah. And warning, folks, this might be one of those videos that gets me some hate. So, if you are a Chris Benoit hater, do not watch this. But if you're interested in what I have to say, because I have said in the past, I feel passionately about this subject. And this is going to be the last time I ever bring this up, hopefully. And I've defended Benoit since it happened. Yes, what happened to him, what he did was wrong. But he was not in his proper frame of mind. And another thing, before I get to MVP, let me mention this. Since no one wants to make this comparison, think about it. If you're religious, like I am, you have to believe, you've got to believe that God knew what was going to happen. God knows when you're going to die, how you're going to die, everything. And I'm not trying to shove my religion down your throat. I'm just saying that's the way things work. But at this point, when is it, since God knew what was going to happen, God knows everything Benoit has ever or would have ever done. So my thing is, I believe he was the reason he killed himself was because he realized what he did, and honestly, I'm trying to think of words. But the thing I bring up in this is MVP. The same, I agree with Undertaker Freak on this one. If you could get MVP can be tested for WPW syndrome, why wasn't Benoit? They knew something was up. And we have to imagine, I'm not trying to blame Fish for this, but I might have to here. I blame Vince a bit, because if he knew what was going to happen, he did everything Vince ever asked him to do. He gave his neck for the company. As much as you guys may not want to admit it, he has done everything for the WWE. But let's be honest here. How many people actually know him? Let's face it. For you, okay, I don't want to have to go off on this tangent, but I might have to here in a minute because there's some stuff I need to get off my chest also. But before I get to this, here's my thing. If God knew what he was going to happen, he would. I think God knew what he was doing. He planned it. He knew Benoit something was going to happen. I still think Benoit knew something was wrong. I believe if he had gotten a checkup, they could have saved him. It's like what's going on in the NBA right now. A lot at the time. You get tested, you got a concussion, you can't re-enter the league. And now with the PG haters have to realize the reason it's this way is because of Benoit. And you can't have the Attitude Era anymore. It just can't happen. That's another subject for another video. What I'm saying is, MVP is a good example of what could have happened if they had just tested him. Even though they found drugs in his system, and to all those people, and I'm about to go really ranty here in a sec, but before I go there, to all those people who saw the fallout of the original, I believe honestly, I still believe that he'd be alive if he had gotten that test. Yes, it was probably too late to save him at this point. But at this point, what are you going to do? I mean, they had to trick him from the record books. I mean, and I'm sure that did not come easily for the WWE. I think it was but if they hadn't, they had to divert the negative heat somehow. And if going PG is what it took, then fine. I've come to grips with it. But it has been a little better as of late. Ever since Brian got his run. I believe now we're finally getting new people on TV. See, it's not being shoved down our throat, but, you know. I defend Cena, okay? I'm gonna defend him in another video because, you know, I could talk on for days about people killing John Cena and whatnot, but I'm not gonna go there right now. But I still think he would have been alive today. But, you know. Okay. And now, before I end this video, I have a little something I have to go off on. Nancy Grace. You are such a moron. It's not even funny. You called Chris Benoit's murder, suicide, roid rage. And then you said the same thing when the Ultimate Warrior died last year. What is wrong with you? So, you know, Nancy Grace, I don't want to go too graphic, but F off, please. Stop what you're doing or you're going to be in serious trouble. The wrestling fans hate you. So, but, and you know what? To everyone that hates wrestling, you're just not a fan of it and you hate it. And for those people who are probably going to flag this video, and I know there's going to be a couple that do, I will pop up somewhere else, okay? And just to reassure my viewers, if something happens that I get just taken off this page, gets taken down, I will pop up with a new account. I promise you. Unless they block me, which I will pop up. But I will get into this. I'm gonna get into this. I am gonna talk about this more about Nancy Grace later, but right now I think this video's been long enough. Hopefully I don't lose any sleep over this. I got out of my system. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.